today. My name is Brittany Weinhold, and I'm with the SPCSA. Today we are here to support you all with the Teacher Exit Transfer Survey. And we have the lovely AIR and NDE staff to support us with this. I am going to turn it over to our AIR representative, and then I'll have our NDE representatives introduce themselves, and then we'll move forward with the rest of the training.
Thank you, Brittany. My name is Kyoshin Kong. I'm with the American Institutes for Research, AIR or AIR. AIR.org is our website. I'm a senior project specialist, and I'm also the project director of a lot of these Nevada statewide surveys, whether it's the Student School Climate Survey that you're aware of, possibly, because we've been doing that since 2015. And then we also have School Climate Survey. Hello? Oh. We also have a school climate survey for staff. And then we recently added
746.
Can someone mute, please?
I got his shirt. And we're matching. I'm official.
Hello, Jill, I think. Can you mute? Okay, thank you. If everyone can mute as they're coming in, that would be wonderful. Thank you. We've recently added the exit transfer survey as well as the working conditions survey to collect even more information of different colors and variations to hear from staff about their working conditions, their climate, and all that. So today we're going to hear from Brittany and NDE to start off, and then I'll give you a really short background about AIR and the teacher exit transfer survey. I'll briefly go over the data collection process and where you guys all would come in, and next steps, as well as some epicenter tasks that Brittany will go over, and then we'll have some question and answer time at the end. Lexi and Kelly, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm Lexi Kovalovich. I do the school climate survey for student and educators here at NDE, as well as behavior, chronic absenteeism, and a few other hats I wear. Kelly Lynn.
So I am Kelly Lynn Charles. I am with the Department of Education as well, and I oversee the statewide exit transfer survey and the staff working conditions survey. And Lexi and I back each other up on all three surveys. So we like to say we are one person. So while we're going through this today, we just want to give everybody a heads up that the Department of Education will be having a network update. So we may drop off. So you may see us via phone for a bit in the middle.
All right, thank you, Kelly and Lexi. Brittany, would you like to say something to get us started? And then maybe ND would want to tag on to that.
Yeah, well, as you all know, we have been doing these surveys for a while. We have been doing some of the surveys, as we'd like. We've had a lot of autonomy in how we've done some of the surveys. Moving forward, now that SB81 has passed, we will have to implement the surveys with more fidelity. So we will need to make sure that we're completing NDE surveys moving forward. We'll also need to make sure that we're using that survey data in our SIPs. You should have already seen epicenter tasks for the surveys, just to ensure that you all have completed those surveys for the 25-26 school year And just moving forward, you'll just notice more monitoring of the surveys from the SPCSA. And I just really appreciate you all being so flexible and getting those epicenter tasks done already, even though the due date hasn't come yet. You guys have already certified on those tasks. So good work. And we're going to get through this together, and just please reach out if you need any support. And I'll go ahead and pass it over to NDE or Hyoshin if you want to get started.
I just wanted to say thank
Can you
you
go to
to
the next slide also?
everyone who has sent in their surveys that they use for this 25-26 year. If they did not use the AR survey, thank you for getting those over to me. And if you haven't, please do, just so that we can have the information, because at NDE we do have to turn in a report here towards the end of the year with all the results from the 25-26 school year. So I appreciate you turning them in. Thank you.
Yep, and this is an excerpt. Oh, Kelly, did you want to say something? Did you want to talk
No,
about this page?
I may jump in as we're going. I think we cover what I was going to say. If not, I'll fill it in.
Okay. So this is what SB81 Section 1 says. It says that the charter school should use school climate, working conditions, and exit transfer surveys to, in their school improvement plans, improve their strategies for retention of staff and the climate and conditions at schools.
Hey, Kyoshin, we have a handout too after we talked.
Should we take questions now, Brittany, or wait?
But it was before we started. I'm not sure if we wanted to make sure it wasn't something clarification wise.
Okay. Let's see. Brian is number 1 here. So Brian?
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. I just wanted clarification on if because we've already gone through internal transfer windows and staff leaving, and before we even, or at least before I was aware of some of these updates in the bill. And so, is this retroactively as far as like now, or do I have to find a way to chase down those who have already transferred out of state or moved to other places? Because that would be virtually impossible.
I guess I will answer that. No, we will just start now, right? So we will you'll see in the next steps, we'll get in touch with someone at your charter who would be the point of contact, and we will work with that person to gather staff information who are leaving. Some of them may have put in their notification now, and then maybe they're not really leaving until later the summer. So we can still be in touch with them. So anyways, we'll figure that out with the point of contact.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next slide. I don't think I see any other questions. All right, Americans, just a couple slides on us. We are a third-party research organization, independent from the Nevada Department of Education. NDE hired us to collect this data. And yes, next slide. And yes, AIR has been around for 80 years. We're not for profit, and our work is in strict independence, objectivity, and nonpartisanship. You can read all the areas that we work, education being one of them. We have state clients, federal clients, foundations, local clients, district clients. It's 1,000 employees across the United States, and I've been working with Nevada since 2015, and it's just been a great partnership. Very grateful for it. And we have a lot of different surveys or different research projects in Nevada, thanks to this partnership. And you can read our mission statement below. It's to generate evidence and apply data-driven solutions that expand opportunities and improve lives for all. Next slide. So why the teacher exit survey? Well, we know that teacher exit surveys have been used across the United States to provide information about why teachers are leaving their position. And this information is useful to help determine the most effective strategies and incentives for improving teacher retention. Next slide. A little background on how this all started. Back in 2022, not too long ago, like 4 years ago, there was a statewide teacher recruitment and retention advisory task force. It's a mouthful. And they strongly recommended NDE to administer an exit survey so we can collect uniform data across the entire state from all educators so that it can help us make statewide policies and funding decisions and to support all educators across the entire state. So then NDE was proactive and said, hey, let's get a group of stakeholders together, including educators, district personnel, association representatives, survey design and data experts. They brought this group together to research different exit questionnaires, including the ones in Nevada districts that are used. And from other states, and they developed a draft of the survey. And then in 2023, that's when AIR and NDE got together to further develop that survey with another working group and another working group of Nevada educators across the state. And we developed that survey, and we are really serious about using the data from it to guide funding and policy so that we can support our educators and reduce staff turnover. Next slide. I'm going to put in the chat our website with resources. If you go to this website, you can go to exit survey. There's also working condition survey resources, but you can focus on the exit survey one. You can read our brochure, our FAQ, our guidance document. It's not, the guidance document's only like 10 pages or so. It's not that long, but that's where you would get a lot of your questions answered about the survey. Next slide. So the purpose statement at the top here was actually developed by the working group, and they said the purpose of this exit survey is to gather data to inform systemic efforts to drive continuous improvement at the school district and state levels to improve educator recruitment and retention efforts. So we plan to accomplish this by enabling you all with data, you and policymakers with statewide and district-wide data to better understand and respond to these factors that are influencing teacher retention. Again, we want to collect it uniformly across the whole state so we can better advocate for resources and policy changes. And then we also want to inform policies and recommendations on teacher recruitment and retention using this data. I know the governor is also very interested in this data. AIR has already presented on this data to the new Commission on Recruitment and Retention, which is part of SB 460, Section 38. And AIR will also be presenting to the Education Policy Management Team at NDE periodically. And that EPM team can use these data to evaluate current programming, support strategic planning, develop new initiatives, and advocate for legislative changes. Next slide. We're hoping this is going to be a useful tool for you all because we do want to give you specific SPCSA specific or district specific results that can be shared with you so that you can take action based on the knowledge and insight from what teachers are saying. Exiting teachers are also more likely to respond honestly to a survey that's administered by an independent entity like us. So they may be more honest, and we do have to keep their responses confidential. Uniform data across the whole state will help with state level policy decisions. So that's how we hope it'll be useful to everybody. And we hope it's also very easy because we're trying to take the burden off of everybody, all the districts and all the charters, and have one streamlined system where AIR will be doing the administration and also creating the dashboards that you can use. And the only thing we ask of you all is to provide the contact information of the teachers who are leaving. And we'll respond to your emails and your calls. So anytime you need any kind of support, we are here and with you every step of the way. Next slide. So these are the questions that are asked in the teacher exit survey. We ask teachers a whole list of reasons that they could possibly be leaving, and ask them how important that reason was for their leave or transfer to another school. Can someone mute, please?
Okay, that's fine.
We also ask about future plans, where they're going next, and their professional background and their demographics. And if you go to the next slide, and I'll put this link in the chat, this is our dashboard. And I'm going to put it in the chat. So please check it out. It is live right now. So that means every day, twice a day, it's getting updated. As new data comes in, the numbers will update, the percentages will update, new districts will be added to the drop-down menu because they reach the minimum N size, sample size of 10 survey responses, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And then what you do is you just click along the tabs at the top. So you can go to About, who is leaving, why are they leaving, what could keep them, and where are they going. And we're happy to like meet with you and like go over this dashboard together and your leadership team as well, and just so you understand how the data is presented. Next slide. So let's talk about the data collection process and who's eligible, like what are all the details around this. Next slide. So right now, it is only classroom teachers of record that we're interested in, because that's what the original teacher task force was recommended. Is we're really curious about teacher retention. So it started as a teacher survey, and it still is right now, but we are going to expand to all school staff this next school year. So that's 2026-2027. The survey will be for all school staff, not just teachers. But right now, for this school year, we are focusing on teachers who recently left, either voluntarily or involuntarily, or maybe they transferred schools. It should only take about 10 minutes, and the survey is open throughout the school year because teachers and staff leave, at various times. And there will be an incentive. Right now, it's a gift card raffle. Next slide. And this is, yes, will teachers' identities be protective? Absolutely. AIR, as the research organization, we are bound to keep their information confidential. And so we do ask about their teacher's license number, and that's the only identifying thing, I think, in the survey. And we ask for that because we're trying to do, we would like to see how they're answering questions in the exit survey compared to other statewide educator surveys like the working conditions survey. So if there's a way to tie those two sources of information together, we plan to do that using the license number. Also, if we present any data, we have to have a group or subgroup of 10 or larger. So if your charter is not going to have 10 staff who leave, that's awesome. But we are also going to do something where we combine all the charters together as well, and present, have that as an option in the dashboard so that you all can see how SPCSA charters are doing together as a whole. And then if your charter also does have 10 or more survey responses, you'll also see your own charter data in the dashboard. Next slide. So this is the whole process, and you are helping us with this first step, which is the district notification. So the teacher is going to tell you that, hey, I'm leaving or I'm transferring. We would like to know that right away because that decision is fresh in their minds, and we want to have them take the survey when that decision is fresh in their minds. So you will let us know who notified you, who's leaving, who's transferring schools, and then we will send them the survey. The charter, if you can, also let the teacher know that AIR is going to be contacting us or contacting them. That would be really, really helpful so that they're not like really surprised and shocked, like who is this AIR contacting me? It's spam. It's like, no, it's not spam. We really need your survey participation. So we'll invite them, they'll complete it. They have an option at the end of the survey to sign up for an interview. And then we, depending on the topic that we're interviewing, we'll sample teachers, invite them to an interview and conduct the interviews ourselves. Good question, Candy. Next slide. I hope the next slide will answer it. So by May 8th, which is in a week, we're hoping all charters will submit their survey liaison. And how do you do that? You will fill out this form. It looks like this. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing my screen. But yes, it looks, there's a form. You will put your charter network selected from the drop-down. If it's a specific campus, you can put your campus name, and then you will put the first, last name, and email, and optional, their role of the survey liaison for your charter. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to invite groups of all of the liaisons to several different meetings in the 2 weeks up to May 22nd. So that we can all meet together and talk about how to share that data. We want it to be as easy as possible for you all, and I know everyone has their own style. So we will meet with you and present those options and yeah, answer any other questions then. I think that's the end of my presentation. Should we, any epicenter tasks and then questions? Question answers, right? Oh, we have Megan with her hand up. Megan?
Hi, I just have a question about Epicenter for schools that have not given out that survey yet. How should we respond in the Epicenter task to certify that we have done it for this school year?
Good segue, Brittany. Brittany, are you there? Okay.
Sorry, I was muted. So for the teacher exit survey, you're going to complete that form that Kyoshin was speaking of, and then you will meet with her and you will create a system that works best for yourself. And you will submit your staff that has exited your school or plans to leave your school for the 25-26 school year. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and certify. If you need an extension, just reach out to me and let me know. But that should be enough time for you to complete that survey or that form and then set up a time with Kyoshin to create a system to submit your staff that's leaving. Okay, so we're going to move on to the epicenter task. Okay, so again, this is the teacher exit survey. You will, like we just discussed, you'll complete that form. And Kyoshin, did you put that form in the chat?
Yes, I did. It's the airtable.com link. I'll put it in the chat again.
Okay, perfect. And so you'll complete that. And Kyoshin is so kind. She's so sweet. She decided to let you all meet with her and create a system that works for you guys. She could have just said, hey, this is the system that you're all going to use, but she decided to let you guys brainstorm your own system. So that was very nice of her. Once you determine that system, you will submit your list of staff who is no longer employed at your school. And once you've done that, then you're done with that task. You can go ahead and certify that you have done this. Moving forward, this will be a monthly epicenter task. I know you guys have some compliance tasks that you do similar to this one. Um, I think like the authorizing team, they do some like this. They serve as reminders, and this one will serve as a reminder as well, because we have staff who will leave, throughout the year. You might have a teacher who leaves, the first month of school or midway through school. And so, or like Brian mentioned earlier, he had staff who left at the beginning of the school year and, can't reach out to them now. And so to prevent situations like that, we decided to do monthly epicenter tasks. And let's say there's a month where you don't have any staff who leaves, then you would just go ahead and certify. And if you have any questions with this, just feel free to reach out. I do see a couple hands raised. I think Yolanda
Hi,
had her hand
Brittany.
up first. Oh yeah. Hi, how are you?
Good. For those of us who still don't have access to the chat, will you guys put these links and forms in an email? Because I still can't see or access the chat.
Thank you so much for pointing that out. Yes, I will send this out. Um, it will it will go out in the weekly. Um, but the weekly doesn't go out until Wednesday. So if you did not receive, or if you're not able to access the chat, if you could just send me an email and I'll email it to you, that might be the easiest way so that you're not waiting until next Wednesday to get all of this information. Um, Brian, I see your hand is raised.
Yeah, thank you. I just had a point of clarification. Earlier in the slide, you had mentioned those that had 10 or more being posted on the site. That's not based off of a percentage of employment at that school. Because, for example, like if we're a K-12, the odds of us having 10 leaving the school year is probably higher than those who are a K-5 or something of smaller portion. So I just wanted some clarification on that.
Yeah, it's not a percentage. It's just if we get 10 responses, we're able to report at that level. And that's to protect people's identities. So if you have 10 at the K through 5 or the other school you mentioned, we would be able to present data for your charter.
And should we be reporting then as individual separate schools? Because for our school improvement plans, we are asked to report one for each building. Even though we're a K-12, we report K-5, 6, 8, 9, 12 all separately.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I think just K-12.
Yeah, I think it's
If you're K-12,
K-12
just
because our dashboard, as you see it, it's at the LEA level. So it would include all of your campuses.
Okay, just because I know you said it was kind of tied into the school improvement plan process. So if it's tied into the school improvement plan process, but the data is not aligned with what our school improvement plan requests are, I just want to make sure that that's.
Yeah, Kelly?
Oh, so I think we had you report at each level because then we can aggregate like K-5 teachers, right? So even if we can't do your elementary individually, they could still be put into statewide elementary teachers, but we combine the elementary, middle, and high school for public facing, right? So that if you had 10 K-12, we might be able to report that. we can check on that, but I think we have you report at each individual level.
Okay, thank you.
And the other thing is, I mean, hopefully there's not 10 staff leaving at every school. That's another thing is like the number of staff that are leaving at the school level might not reach the 10 end size. So that's why in the dashboard, it's at the district level right now. Yeah. Kelly, did
But
you want to
also
add
as
something?
yeah, but also as a reminder, it's just not those who are retiring or resigning or moving. If you have an elementary teacher who moves up to middle school, that's a transfer, right? If you have a classroom teacher that moves into a strategist or a librarian position, that would be a transfer as well, right? Or moves into an admin position, that would be the transfer. So they would still all get the survey and they would count towards that 10.
Yes. So if you do have multiple buildings and multiple campuses, then yeah, if they do transfer to another campus or building, we would like to know. But if it's within the same building, that's not leaving a school, right? That's not leaving a building. So we do not need to survey them. But sometimes when you're in the same building, you could change positions. That's great, but that's not an exit. That's not a transfer. So think about it as in like school buildings. Rodney?
Okay, that I just feel like I just got different answers from you and Lexi on that last question about whether if they're moving into a different position within your school, then you don't have to fill out the survey. I just want to verify that.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other thing was, so I'm with Durrell Academy. We've been involved in this already for a couple of years. So do I need to put anybody into this spreadsheet to set it up? We're all set up and done, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Okay,
guys
just
are
making
good.
sure.
Kelly, did you want to say something about, oh, did they get kicked off? Oh, there you
No,
are, Kelly.
we got put back on. We're finally reconnected to the network and we are off a telephone.
Oh, good. Kelly,
Yay.
the question is, within a school, if a teacher's going from like 5th grade to becoming an art teacher, or if, you know, if they're staying within the same school, we don't need their contact information,
they're
right?
changing position. Yeah, that's a transfer. They're transferring position. If they're leaving the classroom and going to a strategist, then that's a transfer. They're moving positions.
Okay, Kelly, I think the survey asks if they're leaving a school in particular. So yeah, we are giving them 2 different responses right now. It's leaving a school, not leaving a position.
Yeah, we've been involved for this for a couple of years, and we've never done a survey for people who were moving within the school into different positions, only if they were transferring to a different campus or if they were leaving our system to go somewhere else.
Because we asked them about the school that they're leaving. But okay, so we'll keep with that, and then I'll talk to Kelly and make sure we're on the same page offline. All right, Christine and then Emery.
Hi, thank you. So on the submit the site level liaison form that you would like us to fill out, do you want, because I'm at Pinecrest, we have 7 campuses. Do you want one liaison from each campus? Do you want a charter leader? How does Durrell do it maybe? What would you like?
No, it is up to you. So if you have one person for all the campuses that can give us this information, that's awesome. Also, I think I can speak for Rodney. I guess Durrell has office managers at each location that we are in touch with who provide us that information. So it just depends on how your charter is set up and like what kind of staffing you have who can help with this.
Okay, thank you.
Emery?
That was my same question because I'm with Somerset, so I wasn't sure like the academic of schools, is that going to be Kim Ballou or is that by charter and by building?
So we would have to just verify it. Like somebody from, and this is the way I'm assuming it's going to happen for us because we're under academic and a system too. we're just going to have to now send Kim a monthly notice, as my guess, to say that we have verified that they were done this month, and then she's going to have to put it into Epicenter.
That's what I was thinking. I also wanted to ask, is this survey also for teachers who are non-renewal as well? I'm guessing
Yes,
because they're leaving.
involuntary
Okay.
leaves. Involuntary leaves included, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll go over all that when we meet. I think there were other Epicenter task slides. Brittany,
Yes.
did you want to
Yes.
go over
Yes.
those? Okay.
Okay. Okay. And you guys should have already received notification for these Epicenter tasks as well. You have your staff school climate survey. That one is due on May 15th. This one you will not receive next year. You will get this one on the odd years. However, next year you will receive the staff working conditions survey, and you will receive that one on the even years. And then you will you should have also received the student school climate survey. This one you'll do every year. This one is due on the 15th as well. And if you have any questions with this, please reach out. A question did come up. A few people sent me an email regarding the I don't know if it was the staff or the student climate survey, I can't remember. One of the reports aren't ready. It will not be ready until mid-May. Lexi, maybe you remember which one I reached out to you about. Maybe it was the staff. It's okay. I just want you to certify that you administered the survey. So if you administered the survey, you can go ahead and certify that you did that in Epicenter. We just want to make sure if we're audited that we're covered. So that's the whole point of the certifications in Epicenter, is to just make sure that we're good in case we're audited. So I don't need to see the reports. As long as you administered the surveys, you can go ahead and certify an Epicenter.
That's the one that I was speaking about in the beginning.
Okay.
It is staff survey that I do need a copy of the results if you did not use AIRs. So I need to see the report so that I can add it to our results if you did your own.
Yes. Yes, and please send those reports, yes. If you have not submitted your reports to Lexi, and you need some support or there's something going on, please reach out to me. We really need to get those reports into Lexi for legislative reasons. She has some other things that she has to do with those reports as well. So please make sure that those get in. Okay. And I think that is it. Yeah. All right. Are there any additional questions? Again, if you need any support, you can reach out to me. If you think of any questions later on, just please feel free to email me or call me. We're here to support you through this process. I know in the past, we've had more autonomy in how we do this. Moving forward, there's more monitoring and higher expectations. So please just make sure that you're meeting those deadlines. And if you need any support as you're going through this, feel free to reach out. We're here to support you guys. Your success is our success. And I do see a hand raised. Pat, if you'd like to come off mute.
Patian?
Yep, go ahead.
Patian, we can't hear you.
Okay, maybe it was an accidental hand raised. Okay, are there any questions? Okay, well, again, the presentation, the recording, and the form to fill out to connect with AIR will be in next week's weekly email to school leaders on Wednesday, May 6th. Please make sure that you meet all deadlines discussed in today's training. If you need any additional support, please reach out to us. Again, here are some contacts.
Yeah, and Brittany, I'll send you a PDF of the slides, as well as
Okay.
all the links.
Perfect, thank you. And I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Carlson, in case you have any other things you'd like to share before we close.
Yeah, no, I see Southern Nevada Trades, Silver Sands, Montessori, Pinecrest, Explore, Mater, Slam, and Pinecrest already submitted their liaisons. So thank you for doing that. That's all I have. Brittany, Ada wants to be added to the newsletter, so that is in the chat.
Okay, you will need to talk with your school leader, and your school leader will have to add you.
Yes, and just contact us at nveducatorsurvey@air.org if you have any questions.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you all so much for carving out time to join us. You guys have a great rest of your day and reach out to us if you need any support. Have a good one. Bye.